For years, Kelly Ripa has been a constant in our lives, a familiar face brightening our mornings. From her early days captivating audiences on All My Children as the feisty Haley Vaughn to her iconic reign as the co-host of Live, she's always approached life with an infectious sparkle. We've seen her navigate motherhood, celebrate career milestones, and share intimate glimpses into her family life with the incomparable Mark Consuelos. Their love story in particular has been a fairy tale for the ages, a whirlwind romance that blossomed into a beautiful family, seemingly untouched by the usual stresses of Hollywood. They built an empire of happiness, a fortress of devotion, and we, her loyal audience, felt like honorary members of their joyous world. She always made it look so effortless, didn't she? So graceful, so in control. But beneath that radiant exterior, a silent battle was brewing, a storm gathering force that would soon threaten to capsize everything she held dear. For those of us who have followed Kelly's journey, her brief, unexpected absence from the public eye was a source of quiet concern. It wasn't like her to step away, not without a clear explanation. Social media, of course, erupted with theories and questions. Was she taking a much-needed vacation? Was it a new project? Or was something far more profound happening behind the scenes, something that the ever-private Kelly was shielding from a relentless glare of the spotlight? Little did we know, the silence wasn't a choice, it was a necessity. A period of profound struggle had enveloped her world, pulling her away from the very thing that grounded her, her connection with us, her audience. It was a time of introspection, of quiet solitude, as she grappled with a challenge that many of us can only imagine in our darkest nightmares. And as the days turned into weeks, the whispers grew louder, each one laced with a growing sense of foreboding. The truth, when it eventually began to surface, was far more complex and heart-wrenching than any gossip column could have concocted. It wasn't sabbatical, nor a new career venture. It was a deeply personal crisis that struck at the very heart of her family. Imagine for a moment the woman you know, vibrant, energetic, perpetually optimistic, facing news that would bring even the strongest among us to our knees. This wasn't a public drama, but a private agony fought within the sanctity of her home, far from the cameras and microphones. The details, initially scarce, painted a picture of immense emotional strain. Her absence was a sign not of weakness, but of an all-consuming need to protect, to nurture, and to fight for something far more precious than any television rating. What could possibly have shaken the foundations of the Ripa Consuelos household to such an extent? The answer, when it finally emerged, sent shockwaves through their tightly knit world, and indeed, through the hearts of her devoted fans. For weeks, the Ripa Consuelos family maintained an almost impenetrable wall of privacy. This was understandable, of course. When faced with such a monumental personal crisis, the instinct to retreat, to circle the wagons, is powerful. But for a public figure like Kelly, accustomed to sharing so much of her life, this silence was deafening. It fueled speculation, yes, but it also underscored the gravity of the situation. We knew instinctively that whatever she was enduring, it was profound. And then, the first fragments of the truth began to emerge, not from a tell-all interview, but from a carefully worded statement, hinting at a medical emergency within her immediate family. The relief that it wasn't Kelly herself who was gravely ill was quickly replaced by a profound empathy for her and her loved ones. The struggle, it turned out, was for one of her beloved children. The words medical emergency are often euphemisms for something far more terrifying, aren't they? And in this case, it was a diagnosis, swift and brutal, had been delivered, shattering their perfect world into a million pieces. To protect her family's privacy, Kelly has never fully detailed the exact nature of her child's illness, and we respect that boundary. However, the emotional toll was undeniable. Imagine the terror, the helplessness, as a parent watching your child battle an unseen enemy. This wasn't just about hospital visits and medical treatments. It was about the sleepless nights, the constant anxiety, the agonizing wait for news, good or bad. It was about putting on a brave face for the world, even as her own heart was breaking into 1,000 pieces. Mark, ever her rock, stood by her side, a pillar of strength, navigating this treacherous path together. Their love, which we've always admired, was tested in the crucible of this crisis, emerging not diminished, but somehow even stronger, forged in the fires of adversity. It became clear that Kelly's absence wasn't merely a hiatus. It was a full immersion into the most important role of her life, that of a mother fighting for her child. As the weeks turned into months, a glimmer of hope began to pierce through the darkness. The medical team, working tirelessly, began to see positive signs. Small victories, each one celebrated with quiet, heartfelt gratitude. Kelly, a woman known for her effervescent energy, found a new kind of strength, a fierce, quiet determination. She became an advocate, a researcher, a tireless caregiver. This private battle, fought away from the glare of television lights, transformed her. It stripped away any superficiality, revealing the raw, powerful core of a mother's love. And then the moment arrived. The doctors delivered news that allowed the Ripa Consuelo's family to breathe again, deeply and truly, for the first time in what felt like an eternity. The corner had been turned. The fight wasn't entirely over, but the most terrifying part was behind them. The long road to recovery had begun, and with it, the possibility of Kelly's return. And then, the day we had all been waiting for finally arrived. The announcement was made. Kelly Ripa would be returning to her beloved chair on Live. The anticipation was palpable. What would she say? How would she look? Would she still be the same Kelly we knew and adored? The morning of her return was electric. Viewers tuned in droves, not just for the entertainment, but for a glimpse into the heart of a woman who had faced unimaginable hardship and emerged victorious. When she walked onto that stage, the applause was thunderous, a collective outpouring of love and support. And as she began to speak, her voice thick with emotion, yet clear and strong, a hush fell over the audience. She didn't dwell on the pain. Instead, she spoke of gratitude, of resilience, and of the profound lessons learned. It was a testament to the human spirit, a reaffirmation that even in the darkest valleys, joy and hope can blossom anew. But what she revealed next, in a moment that caught everyone off guard, was truly extraordinary. During her emotional return, Kelly didn't just share her journey, she unveiled a truly remarkable surprise. After recounting the harrowing experience and expressing her profound gratitude to her family, friends, and the medical professionals who became their angels, she paused, a mischievous twinkle in her eye, a familiar Ripa glimmer that we had all missed so dearly. And she began, her voice softening. Through all of this, something else incredible happened. The audience held its breath. Was it a new project? A personal achievement? No. What followed was a revelation that brought tears to many eyes and a collective gasp of pure, unadulterated joy. She shared that during the long, arduous hours spent by her child's bedside, a new passion had ignited within her, a way to channel her energy and her boundless love into something truly meaningful. It wasn't about returning to the spotlight as much as it was about embracing a deeper purpose, a legacy born from struggle. This new chapter, she explained, was born from a simple yet profound desire to give back, to transform her family's struggle into a beacon of hope for others. While guarding the privacy of her child's specific condition, Kelly announced the establishment of a charitable foundation dedicated to supporting families facing similar medical crises. This wasn't just a monetary contribution. It was a deeply personal endeavor born from the raw experience of fear and uncertainty. The foundation would provide resources, emotional support, and financial aid to families navigating the complex world of pediatric illness. It was a powerful, surprising turn, illustrating that even from the depths of despair, immense good can emerge. Her comeback wasn't just about being back on television. It was about leveraging her platform for a cause that now beat at the very core of her heart. The revelation resonated deeply, showing us that Kelly Ripa hadn't just survived, she had transformed. But the biggest surprise was yet to come, a twist that would connect her journey to a much larger, more universal message of hope. The foundation's launch was met with overwhelming support, a testament to Kelly's unwavering popularity and the universal empathy for families facing health challenges. But it was during a subsequent interview